Hello, thanks for tuning in again to Me and You Outside. I am gathering and going to pull out some sassafras roots, and I'm going to show you how to make the best sassafras tea you could ever have. And it's a wonderful, wonderful tea. It's got a lot of medicinal benefits to it, and we're going to yank a couple of trees out of the ground. Probably just yank one today, but it's toward the end of April here in this part here in Missouri, and usually you can get sassafras pretty good until probably toward the end of May, and by then all the sap has gone back up into the tree itself, and you won't be able to enjoy the tea. It won't be as strong in the roots. But in the wintertime, all that sap comes down into the roots to be protected, and then in the spring is when you harvest it. That's when you harvest sassafras. Then you can dry it, and I just leave it out and let it dry for a long time, and then put it in bags or something, make sure all the moisture's out of it, and you can drink that tea for a year or two, and it's really, really, really good. But I'm gonna show you what the tree looks like, give you an idea on that, and then we're along a road here, so we mostly find it along a road, along a county road. That's where we find our sassafras trees. And so we're here beside a road. I'm going to hook a chain on a tree, pull it out, and we'll take it with us, and we're going to render it and make tea out of it. But I'll show you how we do that here in just a second. Now I want to show you what the tree looks like. All the trees are a little bit different as far as their shape and all, but this is one right here. It's a sassafras right here. I can tell by the smooth bark in the upper portion. It's real smooth. And in the early spring, if the sun hits this just right, it has a tint to it, kind of a reddish tint, and I can recognize it by that. Now, if you got a lot of wind noise today, I'm sorry about the wind. Hopefully, it'll calm down before we get done here and get too far. But anyway, this is what it looks like. It's starting to have leaves on it. If the leaves get too big, you're done. It's not going to be any good. Okay. So there's one there. Let me show you another one over here. Let me have the camera here, Jackson, just for a second. There's my grandson helping me. Thank you, Jackson. He's such a good job. There's another one here. See a smoother bark right there. This is the one I'm going to try to yank out. It's a little bit bigger tree, but if I can get it out, I'll get a lot of sassafras. Again, that bark is just kind of has a smooth look to it, and that's how I identify it. Now, further down, it's a rough looking bark. Just looks like normal, but as you go up, starts to smooth out, and it's just a smoother bark. Even the limbs are real smooth, like that limb right there. That's how I identify it. And all right, stay with me. I'll get my chain going here, and we'll try to yank this thing out. All right, get this chain around here. The way I like to do it is wrap it a couple times, go up under itself, come around like that, put another wrap around there. You want that to hold pretty good. This ground here is pretty dry, so I don't know how it's going to work. But we're going to find out now. I'll have my son-in-law video that. Jack can stand right here where I'm at. Get down there and video that. See if that. Woo, it's strong. That's going to be good right there. They left a lot of root there, so that little tree will grow back. But I did get a lot of it right here, enough to make a good pot of tea. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this home. I'm going to cut this off right here and cut this into little chunks. And then, see, there's no smell up here now, but up here in the tree itself, you smell it all day long. Nothing. Here where the root starts, really a strong root beer, almost a root beer type of a smell to it, but very strong. All right, that'll be enough to make a good pot of tea right there. We'll take the whole tree, we'll throw it in the back of my truck, and I'll see you in the maybe in the kitchen. Yeah, probably in the kitchen. See you later. One more thing I got to do before we go to the kitchen. I got to cut this up, and I'm just going to use my trusty Sawzall right here, and just get some of this cut into smaller pieces. See these little pieces like this? Those are excellent. Very, very strong sassafras flavor, which is good. Get some more here. Now that right there's a dandy piece. I can break that up into several little pieces. So good. So good. Take one more off of here and try. Battery's dying, but I got it. All right, 2 more pieces here. Good and strong. Here's what we got. There's a handful right here. That'll make a pot of tea, believe it or not. Probably could get, probably 5 or 6 cups of tea out of this, which will be good. So now let's go to the kitchen. Welcome back to this familiar place, our kitchen. And I've got my sassafras here. I've broke some of it up into some little smaller pieces, but not too small. It's perfect size right there. Good size. I've got about 4 cups of water here. Maybe 5, 4 or 5. I didn't measure it. It's made about a half a pot here. And I'm going to put this in here, in this pot. Looks like wood and water. That's what it is. Now what I'll do is I'll boil this. I'm going to boil this for about 5 minutes. Maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'm going to put a lid on it and let it steep for a good 15-20 minutes. And then you will see this is clear water right here, right now. See that? See how clear that water is? After a while, you're going to see this water is going to have a deep red tint to it. And it's going to be look a little bit different. And that's your tea. And we're going to drink it semi-sweet because I just don't like unsweet tea. I'm a sweet tea type guy. So even sassafras tea, I like to have a little bit of sugar in it. Sassafras is really good for stomach issues. The Indians saw it as a cure-all. That's what they believed. Now, when the Europeans come over here, they poo-pooed it, and they didn't care about it, you know. But the Indians believed, and I believe maybe even for them, that God placed this plant there for them to have. They didn't have doctors like we have and all that stuff, and so this plant was for them, and they used it, and it helped them in a lot of ways. But I still believe it helps us too. You can't drink too much of it. 1 or 2 cups a week would be plenty. And again, it can help with all kinds of issues. I have a lady in our church that has cancer, and she wanted some of it. It's making her stomach feel a whole lot better. So that's kind of cool. And but anyways, sassafras tea. It's already starting to get a little bit of an orange tint to it. You can see it around the edges. It's turned a little bit, just a fuzz starting to turn. But once this boils and steeps for a while, you'll see a different color. And I will see you here shortly. As boiled for about, I just let it boil about 3 minutes probably on a hard boil, and then put a lid on it. You can see here I put a lid on it. I let it steep. It's been steeping for 5 to 7 minutes. Wouldn't hurt it to steep longer, but you can see that right there. That clear water has turned into a reddish color, and that, my friends, is sassafras tea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little sugar in each one of these cups. Each one of these cups get a little sugar. You like that old-fashioned sugar pour right there. I just love that. I love it. We use it all the time. All right, here goes some tea right here. Here and on the stove. All right. Little on the stove. There's that one. Now, hang on. Let me pour it over here. So I can do this without making a mess. Oh, it don't matter. I make a mess all the time. We can clean it up. Get a little wood in your teeth. Not going to hurt nothing. Check that out. See that? That is a beautiful, beautiful color right there. So what we're going to do, I'm going to stir that just with a spoon just a little bit. Get something right here. Use a plastic knife, what difference does it make? All right. There. All right. We'll see you on the deck. Jackson, my camera operator, and I are going out on the deck, and we're going to sit on the deck like a couple old men and drink hot sassafras tea. But we're going to tell you what it tastes like. So we'll see you out there. Well, here we are on the deck, but I want to show you something crazy. These petals, these little things, they fall off these buckeye trees. We got buckeye trees in our yard like you would not believe. Look at that one right there. It's huge. It produces about 100 to 200 buckeyes every year. And we got these buckeye trees over here. They're kind of a cool thing, buckeyes. There's the blooms. That'll be a cluster of buckeyes right there. There's like 7 trees right here. It's just crazy. Kind of fun. We're about ready to drink tea. Are you ready to drink tea, Jackson?
Yeah.
We brought it out here and had to let it cool down a little bit because remember it just boiled and it was steeping. But boy, look at that color in those. Would you ever? That just looks good, doesn't it? Man. All right. Take a sip, Jackson. See what you think.
Mmm.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
Kind of tastes like root beer a little bit. Sorry. But I try to get sassafras at least once a year. I try to get enough I can put it in Ziploc bags after I dry it and keep it and just drink it whenever I feel like it throughout the year. But this right here, it's a strange flavor. It's kind of got like a root beer flavor to it. In fact, they used to make root beer, add it to root beer. It was part of root beer to the 1970s. And the USDA said, nah, that's not good. Don't put that in your root beer no more. So they quit doing that. You can read all kinds of stuff about sassafras tea. It's like red mushrooms. Some people think it's going to kill you. Some people think it's the best thing for you, especially sassafras. They don't think it's going to kill you, but you don't eat it or drink it in large quantities. You just don't. You just drink it. Like I say, 1 or 2 cups a week is great, and it's soothing. It's relaxing. It's just a crazy, crazy tea. So get out and try to find yourself some sassafras. I hope you can, because if you do, you're going to love it. It's going to be good. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to. We'd love for you to, and I'd appreciate that. And if you don't like the video, you can. If you don't like us, you don't have to. Right, Jackson?
Yeah.
Don't care. We're going to do what we're doing regardless, aren't we, Jackson?
Yeah.
Me and you outside. One word. We will see you on the next video, which hopefully won't be very long.